Thank the gentleman. The gentleman from California, Mr. Vargas, who's also the ranking member of the Task Force on Monetary Policy, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the chairman and also the ranking member, and in particular the ranking member. I think what she said today was not only true but courageous. It's sad, but I do think we're living through a pretty shameful moment in our history, and I think that is how history is going to see it. And I think a lot of the people that are here today, 10 years from now, are going to see themselves as Liz Cheney's and Adam Kinzinger's, but they weren't. They weren't. We allowed all this corruption to go on, and it's sad. I've been in politics for a long time. I got elected back in 1993. And it's interesting in hearing like this. Normally what happens, the politicians, we make a statement, and our statement's pretty political, as mine just was. And then normally we go to the professionals, and the professionals give us information that's very important for us to make decisions. But it's seldom the case that the professionals use the jargon of politicians. And that's been the case most of the time that I've been here, with the exception of today. I was very interested because some of the jargon that was used today, unelected bureaucrats, by the way, that's called professionals. Unelected bureaucrats, the weaponization of finance. All of this jargon is jargon that is used by politicians. It shouldn't be used by professionals. And we saw that today, and I think that that's disappointing. Anyway, I wanted to say that because I do see a sliding right now of professionalism in the government, and I think it's sad. And also intellectualism, frankly. I mean, I see today, you know, we're trying to figure out if what we're doing at sea right now is legal or not. You know, it's the equivalent of bayoneting the wounded. When you have survivors on a ship and you hit them again. I mean, clearly war crimes. And this is what happens when we deprofessionalize the government and those that are supposed to carry out the laws. So anyway, I was disappointed in some of the jargon here today, and I'll leave it at that. Now, I do want to turn to climate change. You know, I think climate change is something that's interesting because I've been around again a long time, and it used to be that no one believes in it. Now, a lot of people do. So I'd ask you guys, how many of you believe in climate change? I'll start with you, Mr. Hill, because you're closest to me.
Yes, sir, I do.
You do. When we go down the line?
Climate is changing. That's correct, sir.
Okay, it is changing. Okay, I won't go into the human aspect, but you do think the climate is changing, yes?
Our view on climate change and natural disasters, which are a risk to financial institutions, is that the local communities are best served to it. Nobody in Florida or Puerto Rico needs me to tell them they have hurricanes.
That's right. Sir?
Whether you call it global warming or climate changing, yes, I understand the climate is changing.
Okay. Vice Chair?
I think climate change climate change is an important policy question, and natural disasters and events happen all the time. I'm from Kansas, so I'm particularly familiar with things like tornadoes and floods.
And yet you guys are pulling back from that information. It seems like now you're not participating like before. Are there no financial risks then? You are the prudential regulators. You don't see risks here in climate change? I mean, you know, you mentioned it well. I'm from California, 2 fires. It's interesting, people never talk about Kansas or places where they get hail, because actually hail is some of the largest damage that you see in insurance. It's actually hail. And you're going to see more and more of that because of climate change. And I think it's going to affect the mid part of the country significantly. But I think it's a real risk. I think most of humanity thinks it's a real risk, except for us today. Would anyone like to comment on it? Mr. Gold, go ahead, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
May I?
Yeah, please do.
So I think it's not that these events are not risks. It's that they're not more important risks than other risks that banks face. And we believe that banks have been facing these risks. Obviously, I'm a community banker from a mostly rural and agricultural bank where farmers are the most optimistic people on the planet who have to mitigate and manage to what the weather gives them every year. So they've been managing for these risks for the entirety of the banking system, and it's not that they're not important risks, it's that they're not more important than other material risks.
Okay, we could disagree on the how important it is. But just lastly, I would like to say, I hope you don't slide into this unprofessional jargon. Keep it tight, as they say when we used to play football. Don't slide off and start to speak like politicians. Thanks again. With that, I yield back.
Thank the gentleman.